Largely because it is well known that there are at least 10 members of parliament who are under investigation for illicit enrichment, a serious corruption offence, of which the only one to be known is the one for whom a report has been completed and sent to the parliament, which is you, Andrew.
I want to give this assurance to the Jamaican people that you know me, you know about me, you can trust me, and you know that I stand against corruption.
They know about you is that you have 28 bank accounts, that you received several $1 million in cash deposits from anonymous donors in your bank account, that your companies had transactions of over $400 million, several thousand transactions between them, and that Positive Jamaica Foundation, a non-profit which you are intimately connected with, provided resources which you use for personal investments through your personal company.
A song which says, when the rum tells you you're a big dancer. I don't know what the leader of the opposition was drinking.
No, please, you're not entitled to do that.
Midway the process, they have turned around to say they have challenges with it. What is it that they really want? Are you truly a Jamaican?
In politics, the truth is as powerful as the promises. But in the heated clash between Prime Minister Andrew Holness, opposition leader Mark Golden, one question arises above all others. Who truly connected with the Jamaican people on debate night? And who left more questions than answers? The national debate between Andrew Holness and Mark Golden was more than just a battle of policies. It was a test of character, vision, authenticity, and at the center of it all, a single document, a birth certificate.
We are the party that have advanced the greatest, the process of repatriating our sovereignty. I am a Jamaican through and through, and I want to see my country's sovereignty represented by a Jamaican. It puzzles me as to why the opposition is trying to frustrate this. The opposition says we must always consult the people, yet they do not want to consult the people on a fundamental architecture of our society, our final court of appeal. They are inconsistent, they are hypocritical, flip-floppers. They were the ones who nudged, encouraged, and agreed with the government that a process should be started for the repatriation of our sovereignty. Midway the process, they have turned around to say they have challenges with it. What is it that they really want? Are you truly a Jamaican?
It's time for our next question. It is from Dion Jax Miller, and it goes to Mr. Golding.
Mr. Golding, the PNP is promising a tax break for small businesses for the first 3 years of formally incorporating, as well as a raft of other targeted tax relief measures. How do you respond to criticisms that your tax plan reintroduces inefficiencies, tax avoidance, and corruption into the tax system that have been eliminated over the past 15 years?
First of all, I think the Prime Minister repeated innuendo or direct attack which has been leveled by his party on my nationality. And you know, I just wanted to just make it absolutely clear that I am indeed born here as a Jamaican. Here is my birth certificate, and it shows I was born at the University Hospital on July 19th, 1965, and it's right here. I hope your camera can pick it up. And I have a copy for you, Prime Minister, right here. And I wish you could provide me with a copy of your certification, but of course you can't do so. Now,
it became a symbol of identity, pride, and credibility. Now, Holness entered the stage with the confidence of an introvert, polished, measured, and armed with statistics of his government accomplishments, infrastructural improvements, housing programs, and steady economic growth despite global challenges.
So a lady stopped me at a luncheon I had yesterday, and she was telling me about a road. I hope she is listening to me. But she said to me, "Me nah vote. If the road no fix, me nah vote." And I said to her, reflect on that statement about it is better to vote for your role than not to vote. If you want the road fixed, vote for it to be fixed. And if you have to vote for the political organization that has shown the wherewithal. I want you to learn this word here. It's called wherewithal, meaning the ability to actually do something. So you, as a voter, must look at what has been done for $45 billion. This administration, since we have been in power, we have spent over $50 billion on roads. Not to mention all the highways that we are building, almost $300 million of highways, US dollars of highways. So don't follow this foolishness, but nothing now go on. Nothing's happened.
Golden, on the other hand, came prepared to fight a different battle, one of authenticity and trust. From the opening moments, his tone was deliberate, seeking to frame himself as not just a politician, but as a man of the people. But then the debate took a dramatic turn when Mark Golden, responding to lingering questions about his place of birth, reached into his pocket, held up his Jamaican birth certificate for the entire nation to see. With the camera zoomed in, the certificate served as more than proof. It was a statement, an emphatic rejection of the whispers that followed him for months, claiming he was not truly Jamaican because of his English roots. In that instant, the room shifted. Some saw it as a bold stroke of transparency, a man clearing the air and putting truth to rumors. Others saw it as desperation, a candidate distracted from the real issues, forced into defending his identity instead of laying out a vision for the country. Now, Holness High Pine came when discussing national housing and social programs and Jamaica's international credibility. He positioned himself as steady. He positioned himself as a steady hand, guiding the nation through turbulence. His composure gave him the impression of a man already in control. Golden's high point is his emotional connection. By confronting the birth certificate issue directly, he managed to turn a vulnerability into a headline moment. His insistence on fairness, equality, and putting people at the center of governance struck a chord with many Jamaicans who felt left behind.
the general election next week, Wednesday, presents a historic opportunity for the people of Jamaica. After 13 and a half years of belt tightening and austerity, we are finally in a situation where the debt to GDP ratio has achieved or is on the cusp of achieving the 60%, which was written into the fiscal rules by Portia Simpson Miller. That means that the fiscal rules and prudent economic management can change gear and look at how we can grow the economy and build a society with a better quality of life for all. We see some serious issues that need to be addressed. 700,000 Jamaicans or thereabouts live on public land, lands where they've built their homes, but they don't have titles. The colonial era law set the period as 60 years of occupation before they can get ownership. We are going to reduce that to 25 years. We're going to give them titles. And that is going to unlock over $1 trillion of wealth, which is now sealed up and quarantined in the old colonial era law that is still on the books. That is why also we're increasing the threshold to 3.5 million, so working families who are struggling to make ends meet can get a little break so they can live a better life. It's why we're going to be removing the tax from the overtime pay of workers earning up to $6 million so they can make it easier in life as well. And when I govern the country as Prime Minister to serve you, I will ensure that accountability and transparency are at the center of what we do, and any hanky-panky
struck a chord with many Jamaicans who felt left behind. Now, this debate revealed a fundamental difference in leadership style. Holness, the technocrat, selling stability and data-driven governance, while Golden is the challenger, appealing to emotion, identity, and the spirit of fairness. For some, Holness represented reassurance in uncertain times. For others, Golden represented the possibility of change and a reminder that leaders must be relatable, not just efficient. So as the debate concluded, memories of Golden holding up the birth certificate spread like wildfire. Supporters hailed him as bold, while detractors mocked the moment as unnecessary drama. Meanwhile, Holness was praised for his discipline and criticized for being too robotic at times. The divide was clear. Jamaicans saw what they wanted to see. The debate didn't just expose the candidates' strengths and weakness, it mirrored their polarization of the electorate itself. So, as the nation inches closer to election day, this debate will be remembered not only for the politics, but for the birth certificate that stole the spotlight. Golden bold move humanizing enough to sway undecided voters, or did it cement doubts about his ability to stay focused on governance? Did Holness' calm composure strengthen his image as a steady leader? Or did it expose a lack of fresh energy to inspire the next generation? The truth is, debates rarely decide elections on their own, but they frame narratives. And in this case, the narrative is clear. Andrew Holness is betting on stability, proven leadership, while Mark Golden is betting on authenticity, emotional connection. So, in the days ahead, Jamaicans will decide which matters more, the facts and figures, or the feeling that their leader understands them. But when the ballots are cast, the legacy of this debate and that one birth certificate may echo far louder than we expect. But we still haven't answered the question. And the question is, who won the debate? I'm not going to answer that question. I'm going to leave it to you, viewers, to decide. So run to the comment section and cast your vote there. True decision is going to come on September 3rd. And that is when Mark Holness and Andrew Holness will decide the country's fate. One Daily TV